What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Small Biz, the #1 stock trading Discord and small business directory at trysmallbiz.com. In today's video, I'm going to give you 3 major catalysts to push stocks higher, because the obvious fun fact of this day is since 1950, the stock market bottoms on average October 27th. All that and more coming right up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for tuning in today. It is cold and rainy here in the northern suburbs of Atlanta. And if you were like me yesterday and you suffered through another Dallas Cowboy loss, look, I can hear the Fly Eagle Fly fans, and if you're asking me right now, it's the Chiefs and or the Bills once again against the Philadelphia Eagles, because even though the Cowboys arguably have the best offense in the NFL, despite the fact that Dak had an off day, that fucking defense, especially against the run, is hands down the worst I've ever seen. A bunch of grandmas in wheelchairs could do a better job stopping the run than they can. No passion, no grit, no fucking heart whatsoever. So as much as I hope they get it turned around, something tells me we're barely going to miss the playoffs, and we're going to have to listen to what Jerry did or didn't do in order to fucking fix this fucking problem. Before I go any further, let me start off by saying thank you very much. My last video where I called bullshit on IXL was the most watched video I've done all year. The unfortunate realization, 2 people signed up in the pinned comment. So when I say I want to make you rich, when I say I want you to have more money in your pocket, in your retirement accounts than you ever dreamed possible, because I've been saying the same fucking thing for 800 videos, I need you to pull the trigger. Is there anybody out there that wants to get rich? Is there anybody out there that understands that when you have a guy that's 301 wins and only 19 losses for 15x returns in the last 26 months, that's called getting rich? 40-0 in the last 3 months. Not a single stock we own right now out of the 7 we trade is in the red. Not one. What's it going to take? What else needs to be said? What other way do I need to fucking say it? Click the link below. Pull the fucking trigger. Give me a chance to help you get rich. Hey. It's maddening. We'll get into the catalysts, including a bonus. If you hold gold or silver, you might want to stick around. It's maddening. It's fucking maddening. How many different ways do I have to try to say what needs to be said? You know damn well you ain't 40-0. You know damn well you're not right 94% of the time. You know damn well you're not up 1,500% in 2 years and a couple of months. You're not, but guess what? We are. So surprise me. At least more than 2. In the pinned comment below, you get a Discord if you don't have a small biz. Premium if you do. Catalyst #1 is the Fed meeting. We don't need any dissent. We don't need any more governors, and there's already one squawking that we need a 50 basis point cut. That's too much panic. So the reason why the IWM and cryptos pulled back in the last hour or two is the 10 years back up and through 4%. We need Wednesday, which is 2 days from now, to go smoothly. Uniform agreement across the board. Everyone's in line with 25 this meeting, and again in December, and again every other meeting until Powell says, I'll see you later in May of next year. If it goes sideways, if there's too much dissent, people are going to think there's something wrong in the credit market. Spreads are tight. So far, there's nothing wrong, but there was a couple of mid to regional sized banks about a month ago that did have a problem because they didn't follow proper lending protocol. We cannot let that happen. So if something goes sideways on Wednesday, we're going to have a hiccup. in the last hour in terms of the good news, and you're at all-time highs at 626. And by the way, wasn't I the guy that was telling everybody during the fake trade war in April to buy the Qs all the way to 400? I told you it was the opportunity of a lifetime, and it was. What a fucking surprise. Damn near everything that comes out of this mouth, whether you like me or not, is correct. You can get rich. Just a few years ago, I had nothing. I was fucking bankrupt in 2008. I was driving a forklift a half an hour up the street at J&S Factory in a town called Cumming. And then I scratched and clawed my way back into the white collar world. But I never made more than $150,000 a year. Still was able to buy, build, and sell 3 or 4 homes. Then I quit in 2019. Little did I know the scamdemic was coming. And I started small biz. Initially, it was a directory. Then I said, you know what? My passion, my expertise, my love, my ability to make you fucking rich is in the stock market. So we started a Discord. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd be sitting here right now owing the IRS more than $100,000 practically every fucking quarter because I'm in a taxable account as a single guy with no kids. I never thought it was possible to be right 94% of the time. Most of you think it's bullshit until you get inside and you realize, holy fuck, this guy is the holy grail. He's merged long-term retirement, 2/3 indexed in SPY, QQQ, IWM, in short-term trading. And because we're buying stocks that have already been gutted, IXL is one example, our risk is somewhat minimized. And yes, when you have 301 wins against only 19 losses, you're 40-0 with not a single fucking stock you own in the red. You know what the hell you're doing. So for the love of God Almighty himself, surprise me for once in that pinned comment below. Catalyst number 2 to push us higher into the end of the year is the meeting with Xi in South Korea. We already had good news about an hour or 2 ago. That's why the Qs, in my opinion, are at record highs. Crypto and small caps are waiting on the Fed. President Trump came out, and so is the same side over there with respect to President Xi. They've already got it worked out. They already have these things worked out weeks, if not months in advance. So if it goes the way they say it's going to go, there's another catalyst to take us even higher into the end of the year. Catalyst number 3 is we got to bring an end to the government shutdown. At this point, as far as I'm concerned, both sides lose. I don't give a fuck. Even the CNN poll is saying the Democrats are getting the short end of the stick because it's gone on so fucking long. I want to see Trump be a bigger man, step up and say, okay, we're going to give a little here. You got to compromise, kind of like Reagan and Tip O'Neill did, or Newt and Slick Willie Bill Clinton did. Do some fucking compromise, get this over with, fund the government beyond the next 6 months so companies have some clarity as to what they can expect with respect to fiscal policy for the balance of Trump's term. Those 3 catalysts, the Fed 25 and a dovish press conference, no dissent. A successful meeting with Xi and an end of the government shutdown. We get those 3, NASDAQ is going 5, 6, 7, maybe even 10% higher. In fact, the average gain for the S&P in the last 50 plus years in the fourth quarter is 5%. A wild card, and I appreciate you sticking around, and don't forget, join us in the pinned comment below, is this nonsense with respect to Trump trying to cut the federal debt of $38 trillion in half by taking 5% of our gold reserves and repricing the gold. What the hell does that mean? Well, they're trying to say they own a bunch of gold much cheaper. Okay, maybe that's true. And they're going to reprice it based on what? 5,000 an ounce? Lock in that profit and then take that money and buy $1.5 trillion or thereabouts dollars of Bitcoin. And according to the experts that have analyzed this plan, it would put Bitcoin at 242,000 on the nose instantly. In other words, double. So I would hate to be short crypto right now. They already had the liquidation event where they squeezed all the shorts and the longs out. They fucked everyone right in the ass 2 or 3 weeks ago. They've evened out the books. If he steps forward, and I don't think 5% is ridiculous, but we need some sort of balanced budget amendment. You need to guarantee the American people and hell, the rest of the world, that we're not going to get into this mess again. And it is possible, theoretically, that if you put $1.5 trillion into Bitcoin and it continues to annualize at 20 to 30%, that within 10, 15, 20 years max, you just eliminated close to $20 trillion worth of debt. But if you don't stop spending more money than you fucking take in, it's nothing more than a gimmick. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, always remember that I love you and I hope to see you through the grace of God. Finally join us in the pinned comment below.